On my channel, I have this particular channel has a warning from like a year or two ago that was put on the channel. You have a warning, and they never let it expire, so it's always there, like it's stuck because of a defect. And I've had channels taken down by having them flagged for hate speech or medical misinformation or all sorts of random crap that were excuse videos. It was very obvious that either somebody working at YouTube had it in for me or their bot is just making mistakes. It could be either, actually. It's most likely just the bot making mistakes. But it had flagged things I call excuse videos because they were videos that didn't have audio or video with them. There wasn't anything to flag. And the titles of the videos were in most cases just a string of numbers because it was hour, minute, and second I uploaded the video. The video didn't complete uploading, so I couldn't change the file name, and the video was rejected because it couldn't be processed. And I lost a channel over one of those, and it doesn't matter how stupid that is, I've lost a channel for that. In another case, I lost a channel years ago for, quote, refusing to connect my Gmail account to YouTube when I had. Another channel I lost because I insulted Adolf Hitler by saying he was an evil man. I'm not kidding. It was flagged for hate speech, making fun of Adolf Hitler and repeating that I was happy he was burning in hell. So YouTube and Google are notorious for doing things that really just seem like it's a fucking joke or it's a bad defect. Today's video title will explain something quickly that you've already spent 1 minute and 55 seconds listening to. September 1st, 2019 at 2:44 a.m. Our team has reviewed your content and we think it violates our hate speech policy. We removed the following video. West Texas, Midland, Odessa, Synergy Theater, mail truck hijack, active shooter, multiple flag, false flag, media. The video discussed all the keywords there in the title and was about a shooting at a theater that was not a false flag and was an actual shooting. And I point out the ridiculousness of a specific group of people being tricked into reposting and parroting the idea that you must come up with a conspiracy theory every time there's a shooting and try to exonerate the guilty parties and somehow blame some kid who gets shot in the school. And in some cases, some of you out there have been tricked into harassing and stalking underage children who are victims of a shooting because some group of people tricked you into believing it has to be a false flag so that you can look as if it's totally reasonable that you should have a gun. Explaining that over and over again to people never works because explaining things to stupid people doesn't work. The fact that these people are weaponized based on their ignorance, stupidity, and their reactionary behavior is something I point out, just like I'm doing here. But it always gets flagged. So anyway, what happened? Again, this is an update. This was taken down September 1st, 2019 at 2:44 a.m. Now, the thing about this video is I can search my inbox and look for any other incident or any of the other subdirectories or labels, and I cannot find a mentioning of anything after that point except for the next one. That was September 1st, 2019 at 2:44 a.m. September 1st, 2019 at 8:17. Our team has re-reviewed it. Under your request, we say it violates our hate speech policy, and we've removed it. It's your single strike against the account in 2019. It was never brought up again. I was told immediately after doing a late night session request, I found out the next day when I woke up, yeah, you've been flagged. This is 2019, September. Today's email. We've reached a decision on your appeal on that video. As of today, March 21st, 2022. We confirm that your content doesn't violate our community guidelines. Thank you for your patience. You threatened to shut down my channel 2 years ago? 3? And immediately replied that you were ignoring my appeal. Well, no. It was a resend of the same email. I had been flagged twice for the same video. Anyway, couldn't do anything afterwards, and I thought either A, they had ignored the appeal, or B, had screwed up and just sent me the original complaint. It didn't matter. The video was invisible, and I couldn't edit it. I think I downloaded a copy of it because I was allowed to, or I was able to trick it into doing so, and I grabbed the text and I dumped it somewhere like BitChute. But today, over 2 years later, I'm assuming it's over 2 years, I'm not going to do the math, they decided that they were wrong. Does that mean they're going to go back to the channel that they took down because I insulted Adolf Hitler and said that he was burning in hell running around wearing a tutu? Are they going to give me back that channel? Are they going to give me the other channel they took down years ago because they were wrong about me not connecting it to a Gmail account when I had? By the way, the next email after that was that the Gmail account had been connected, and thank you for your confirmation, but that was delayed 2 weeks because they had a fuck up, and then everything disappeared. I think I still have a backup copy I made using Thunderbird, an email client. Or about the other channel that was taken down for okay, let's review. YouTube is re-reviewing things and maybe making amends, or they just finally paid attention to it. Now, I want to point out the reasoning behind them having a no reply at youtube.com or whatever. They would chronically get responses from people saying, why did you do that? No, you have to go to the complaint form so we can ignore you. No, I'm sending it to your inbox. Now, one of the tricks I used to do is send an email back, and I would get a error message that had a unique identifier, not no reply. It would say, temporary email box at Gmail. If I sent an immediate reply to it and then put in my complaint and appeal, which it included, thankfully, they would actually re-review things. And then they closed that loophole by making it to where they weren't allowed to, or it always uses no reply at YouTube or Google or whatever. And yes, I did try it that month. That was my standard policy because it worked well, because it would force a human to review the flagging. They were trying to use the bot exclusively. It was, believe it or not, even stupider than it is now. So this is YouTube's and Google's methodology as a high-tech company to wait 2 years to undo something that potentially could have killed off my channel at the time. Because it was hate speech. That's like them essentially admitting that that's another one. I got one of my channels torn down because I refused to use Google Plus because everyone hated it, because it's monopolistic behavior on their part. It's a violation of trust laws in some ways. They eventually dropped the requirement. Every time they make one of these guillotine-associated off with their heads proclamations, they end up regretting it. The mere act of being able to limit your speech on 1,000 videos because of an error in one video that may be their fault, and them dead-ass acknowledging it over 2 years late, that's Google. That is the best possible, that's the most Google thing I've ever seen. But hey, they restored it. I'll go through and see if it still has the thumbnail that's supposed to go on it, and if it doesn't, I'll put another one on there so it, looks like my channel's allowed to do that. I still have warnings and flaggings on my channel that are stuck that say that my channel's going to be deleted any day now, so they can keep the thumb on me. And then you'll see the person running Google say, we're not doing that, when that's exactly what they're doing. It doesn't matter if it's their intent. That's the effect. That's how they do it. It doesn't matter that my intent wasn't to be hate speech about Adolf Hitler. Yes, it was. What matters is they can get away with flagging shit, basically. So yeah, they restored a video that they killed off. I think it was uploaded and killed off within an hour. Nobody ever saw it. So it's probably just visible now. Maybe it'll get a bunch of views. I don't know. I guess they just shut you up until no one looks up the subject matter and then they open it back up again. I love doing the negative, evil, ulterior motives for a corporation like this because they have obscene levels of power over what we're allowed to do. They're the definition of the Ministry of Truth sometimes when they want to be, right out of 1984, the book. And they do absolutely, in a mind-fuckingly annoying way, everything they can do in their interaction with people to prove that you should think of them that way, and then quietly bitch and whine about it. It's like some goddamn in-joke. Anyway, the video was restored 2 years later, whatever the fuck it is, and yeah. That's the most Google thing I've seen all day. I hope it is not going to be topped in a few minutes. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.